What happens when a single drunken joke transforms a factory worker into an overnight millionaire, and then ruins hundreds of lives? This is the story of Chen, the girl who went from viral sensation to public enemy #1 in less than 6 months. If you want to hear one of the craziest internet stories of the year, hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Chen never imagined her life would change because of a joke about a hot dog. At 21 years old, Riley worked the night shift at Precision Springs Manufacturing in Cookeville, Tennessee. It was honest work, repetitive, exhausting, but it paid the bills. Every day she'd clock in, operate the machinery that bent metal coils into springs for vending machines, and clock out. That was her life. Simple, predictable, safe. But one Saturday night in June, Riley and her best friend Lauren decided they needed a break from small-town life. They drove to Nashville, got a little too tipsy on cheap margaritas, and wandered down Broadway Street where the neon lights made everything feel like a movie. That's when they saw two guys with a camera and a microphone stopping strangers for street interviews. Some YouTube thing. Riley would have walked right past them, but Lauren pulled her over, giggling. "Come on, it'll be fun." The interviewer asked Riley a provocative question, and Riley, uninhibited by tequila and the electric energy of the night, delivered a punchline that would change everything. The crude joke made everyone around her burst out laughing. The camera guys were dying. Even Riley couldn't believe what had just come out of her mouth. She went home that night thinking nothing of it. 2 days later, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. The clip had been posted to TikTok. Within 12 hours, it had 15 million views. By the end of the week, it was 50 million across every platform: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube compilations, Reddit threads. People were making remixes, creating memes, printing it on t-shirts. Chen had become the hot dog girl. Now here, where Riley did something incredibly smart. Instead of hiding or deleting her social media out of embarrassment, she leaned in. She hired a manager from Los Angeles who specialized in viral talent. She started posting content, building on the momentum. Her follower count exploded: 500,000, then 1 million, then 3 million in a month. Suddenly, brands wanted to work with her. Podcasters were reaching out. She was invited to throw the first pitch at a minor league baseball game. A country music star brought her on stage during his concert. Riley quit her factory job and moved into a nice apartment in Nashville. For the first time in her life, Chen felt like she mattered, like she was special. She'd spend hours reading comments from fans who said she inspired them to be confident, to be themselves, to not care what people thought. Young women saw themselves in her, just a regular girl who got lucky and made it work. Riley loved her fans, she really did. And that's what made what came next so devastating. Because in September, 3 months after her viral moment, Riley got an email that would ruin everything. It was from two brothers, Preston and Blake Sterling, who called themselves crypto entrepreneurs. They had a proposition. They wanted to make Chen very, very rich. And they wanted to make her fans rich too. At least that's what they said. The Sterling brothers were smooth talkers. Preston was 32, wore expensive watches, and had the kind of confidence that made you believe everything he said. Blake was 28, quieter but sharp, the technical genius behind their operation. They made millions in cryptocurrency, or so they claimed, and now they wanted to help Riley do the same. They flew to Nashville to meet her in person, took her to a steakhouse that cost more than Riley used to make in a week at the factory. Over wine and Wagyu beef, they painted a picture of the future. "You've got something most influencers never get," Preston said, leaning forward. "Authentic connection. Your fans don't just follow you, they trust you. And trust, that's worth more than gold in the crypto world." The pitch was simple. Launch RileyRocket, a cryptocurrency coin built around her brand. Fans could buy in early, ride the wave of her popularity, and everyone would make money together. It was community building meets investment opportunity. "We're not talking about some pump-and-dump scam," Blake assured her, his laptop open showing charts and projections. "We're talking about a legitimate token with real utility. Fan rewards, exclusive content access, voting rights on your future projects. This is the future of creator economy." Riley hesitated. She'd heard about crypto scams. Everyone had. Influencers who'd promoted coins that crashed, leaving their fans broke and angry. "I don't want to hurt anyone," Riley said quietly. "These people, they believe in me." Preston reached across the table and put his hand over hers. "Riley, that's exactly why this will work. We're going to do this the right way. Full transparency. No insider selling. We'll even give away free tokens to your most loyal fans so they get a head start." Something about the way he said it made Riley feel safe. These guys seemed professional, legitimate, not like the sketchy crypto bros she'd seen on Twitter. She signed the contract 3 days later. For the next 6 weeks, Riley promoted RileyRocket everywhere. She went on podcasts and explained how this wasn't a cash grab. It was a way to share her success with the community that built her. She did Instagram lives answering questions. She gave away free tokens to fans who'd been with her since the beginning. "I promise you," she said, looking directly into the camera during one stream, "I would never do anything to hurt you guys. We're in this together." Her fans believed her. Of course they did. College students used their tuition money. Single mothers dipped into savings. A guy named Chris from Ohio invested his entire $8,000 emergency fund because Riley said it was the opportunity of a lifetime. Launch day was set for December 15th at noon Eastern Time. The Sterling brothers handled all the technical details. Riley just had to be the face, the voice, the trust. When December 15th arrived, Riley was more nervous than she'd ever been. She went live on Instagram, smiling at the camera, her heart pounding as the countdown began. "Here we go, everyone. 3, 2, 1, RileyRocket is live." The response was immediate and explosive. The coin's value skyrocketed. Within 7 minutes, it hit a market cap of $490 million. Riley's phone was blowing up with screenshots from fans showing their gains. People were making thousands of dollars. The chat was going insane with celebration. Riley was crying happy tears. "We did it. Oh my God, we actually did it." For 18 perfect minutes, everything was beautiful. And then someone sold everything. 95% of the coins flooded the market at once. The value collapsed so fast that trading platforms couldn't keep up. People who'd invested $10,000 watched it become $500 in seconds. The Discord server turned from celebration to panic to rage. Riley's screen froze. Her smile disappeared. "What's happening?" she whispered. Blake Sterling wasn't answering his phone. Preston had logged off Telegram. But Riley's fans, they were still there and they had questions. The kind of questions that end careers. Vincent Torres had been watching the entire time. Vincent was a 36-year-old investigative journalist who'd built his career exposing cryptocurrency fraud. He had a YouTube channel with 2 million subscribers who trusted him to tell the truth, no matter how ugly it got. And what happened with RileyRocket? It was ugly. While Riley's fans were panicking and the Sterling brothers had gone silent, Vincent was doing what he did best, following the money. Blockchain technology is transparent if you know how to read it. Every transaction leaves a permanent record, and Vincent knew how to read it better than almost anyone. What he found made his blood boil. 3 wallets connected directly to the RileyRocket creator account had sold massive amounts of tokens in the minutes before the crash. The Sterling brothers hadn't just allowed the rug pull, they'd orchestrated it. They made over $2.3 million in fees and profits while Riley's fans lost everything. 2 days after the crash, Preston Sterling organized a Twitter Spaces, a live audio room, to address the misunderstanding. Riley joined, along with Blake and a few other team members. 15,000 angry people flooded into the room. Preston's tone was defensive from the start. Look, there's a lot of negativity here, and I think we need to acknowledge something. Crypto attracts a certain kind of person, right? High risk, high reward. If you can't handle volatility, maybe you shouldn't be in this space. Someone unmuted. I lost my daughter's college fund. That's not our fault, Blake jumped in. You made an investment decision. We never guaranteed anything. The room erupted. People were shouting, crying, demanding answers. And then Vincent Torres raised his hand. Riley saw his name pop up in the speaker queue and her stomach dropped. She knew who he was. Everyone in crypto knew who he was. Preston accepted the request. Yeah, go ahead. Vincent's voice was calm, measured, and absolutely merciless. Hi, Riley. Hi, Preston and Blake. I've been tracking the blockchain data from your launch, and I need you to explain something. 3 wallets directly connected to your creator account sold $2.3 million worth of tokens between 12:16 and 12:18 p.m., right before the major crash. Can you explain why insider wallets were dumping while you were telling fans to hold? Silence. Then Preston laughed, but it sounded forced. That's not accurate, Vincent. I don't know where you're getting your information. It's on the blockchain, Vincent interrupted. Public record. I can share the wallet addresses right now if you want. You're provably lying. We didn't do anything illegal, Blake shot back, his voice rising. The fees went to operational costs, developers, marketing, infrastructure. You profited over $2 million while Riley's fans got destroyed, Vincent said flatly. Call it whatever you want. Everyone listening knows what this is. The room was chaos now. Hundreds of people trying to unmute at once. Riley sat frozen in her Nashville apartment, staring at her screen, unable to speak. Preston was yelling now. You know what? We tried to do something cool here. We tried to give people an opportunity. And this is the thanks we get. You people should be grateful. Grateful? Someone screamed. I lost $17,000. Riley's hands were shaking. This wasn't supposed to happen. Preston and Blake had promised. They looked her in the eye and promised. She felt tears streaming down her face. The weight of it all, the betrayal, the guilt, the thousands of people who'd trusted her, crushed down on her chest until she couldn't breathe. Hey guys, Riley said suddenly, her voice small and exhausted. I have to interrupt. I'm really tired. I'm going to go to bed now, okay? We'll talk more tomorrow. And then she left. Just logged off while 15,000 people screamed into the void. In the weeks that followed, the fallout was brutal. The SEC received 127 formal complaints about RileyRocket. A class action lawsuit was filed by 19 investors seeking $4.2 million in damages. Vincent Torres published a 40-minute documentary on YouTube breaking down exactly how the scam worked. It got 8 million views in 3 days. Riley deleted Instagram, then Twitter, then TikTok. Her podcast, Riley Unfiltered, released a statement saying it was on indefinite hiatus. Her management company quietly dropped her. Brand deals evaporated overnight. Preston and Blake Sterling. They started a new crypto project 2 months later under different names. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Chen probably won't go to jail. Cryptocurrency regulation is still murky, and proving criminal intent is nearly impossible. The Sterling brothers might face fines, maybe some civil penalties, but they'll likely keep most of their money. And the fans, the single mom who invested her savings, the college kid who bet his tuition, Chris from Ohio with his $8,000 emergency fund. They'll probably never see that money again. Chen went from factory worker to millionaire to the most hated person on the internet in less than 6 months. She thought she was giving her fans an opportunity. Instead, she became the face of their biggest regret. As of today, Riley hasn't posted anything online in 23 days. Somewhere in Nashville, she's living with the weight of hundreds of broken promises and thousands of angry messages. The hot dog girl became a cautionary tale. And the saddest part, she probably believed it was real too. That's what makes this story so heartbreaking. It's not just about greed or scams or cryptocurrency. It's about trust, how easily it's given, how quickly it's broken, and how impossible it is to get back once it's gone. Riley wanted to share her success. She wanted to lift people up. Instead, she learned the cruelest lesson the internet has to teach. Sometimes the people who promise to make you rich are the same ones who'll destroy everything you've built. And there's rarely a happy ending for anyone involved.